Hi everyone, how are you? In this series, we're gonna explain how to create a mobile application connected with the Firebase. So, in this lectures or in this series, we will explain how to create a mobile application, a cross-platform mobile application that connect with the Firebase. So we have a cross-platform mobile application. In the side of mobile application, we will using the Flutter framework from Google, and also in the back end, we will using the Firebase. So the first of all, we will talk briefly about the Flutter. Flutter is a framework which created by the Google company. This framework using to create an application and mobile application work both on the Android platform and the iOS platform, and also web and desktop. So here if you go to the Flutter framework, Flutter website, here you can see Flutter is a Google UI toolkit for building beautiful natively compiled application for mobile, web and desktop from a single code base. What I mean by natively compiled application, that means this application or this application that I created using the Flutter will compile it in the native code. For example, with the Android, will compile it to the native code for Android. For iOS, will compile it in the native code of iOS. For web, will compile it to the native code for the browser. And the desktop, same thing. So the application, our application will behave like a native application, like a great application with the Java or Kotlin or Swift for iOS. And from single code base, what I mean by from single code base, that means I will just write a single code using the Dart programming language, because the Flutter using Dart programming language. Flutter is a framework using the Dart programming language. So I just write the one code using the Dart programming language, and this code or this application will work on the Android and iOS and in the browser for the web, and also in the desktop as a desktop application. So you have one code working or created by using Dart programming language, and this code compiled to the Android and compiled to the iOS code and for the web and desktop. So it is amazing. You have just one code, and you can create application that work on the four platform. And now what's the Firebase? Firebase, this is the website of the Firebase. Firebase is a cloud service. It's a cloud service. In the cloud service, we have a lot of types of the model, like a software as a service, like a platform as a service, and so on. The type or the model of the Firebase, backend as a service. From its name, backend as a service. So now instead of I create a backend by myself using, for example, MySQL in the SQL based, or using, for example, MongoDB for NoSQL, and then I should create an API to connect between the database or the backend with the front end, for example, with the mobile application. With using the Firebase, the backend is a service. Now the backend is like work as a service. So I have application, I create application using Flutter, for example, or any other programming language like Kotlin, like Java, like JavaScript, not just for mobile, for web or whatever. So I create a Flutter mobile application using the Flutter, using Dart programming language, and I don't need to create a backend, because I will work with the Firebase. Firebase is a backend service. This already exists. I just using this service of the Firebase, also including a lot of services. Like for example, here you can see Cloud Firestore, ML Kit for the machine learning application, support the machine learning. Also cloud functions, authentication. We have multiple authentication like mobile authentication, email authentication, username and password, and so on. And also hosting to host our application, cloud storage to store the videos or images and so on. And we have a real-time database Now instead of real-time database, this is like an old version of the Firestore. Now we're using the Firestore, Cloud Firestore instead of the real-time database. You can see here, this support the iOS, support the Android application and the web application. So like a Flutter, support the mobile application, web application, Android and iOS. So it is this amazing combination between Firebase and Flutter, because using just one programming language, just one framework, Flutter, we can create a mobile application and Android application and mobile application, both Android and iOS, and also web application and desktop application, and based on the just back-end Firebase. So it is very important and amazing combination between these two amazing technology from the Google.